Hello, my name is Ola Fadoju, and this video I am starring in is essentially a showcase into my role as an associate lecturer at the Open University, and that's the terminology we use, associate lecturer. In other universities, they're called just lecturers, sports and fitness lecturers, whatever terminology you want to use. But I want to use this video as a way of showcasing my role at the Open University and also hoping to inspire some of you who are sports and fitness students into a teaching or lecturing or tutoring role, whichever term you want to use. So, like I said, my name is Ola Fadoju. My academic interests are in sports and fitness, but I do also tutor in project management, and I've also tutored in teacher training. So I kind of go across the spectrum, so to speak, in terms of education. I initially graduated as a mature student, so I only went into education in terms of higher education at the age, I think, of 26, 27. And the reason why I did that is that previously, before then, I was playing and doing a lot of what you would call sports. I didn't specifically play professional sports in this country. I played professional sports in Nigeria, and that's where my parents are from. So I then came back to Great Britain, and then picked up my education from there. So I went in as a mature student and did my bachelor's degree in sports and fitness sciences at the University of Roehampton, and graduated in there. And then I went on to become a what you would call a sports academy coach, well, specifically football, in Lewisham College, and then I kind of evolved into becoming a sports and fitness lecturer, on the basis that I was being asked to cover classes, A levels, BTEC classes for tutors who were unwell or tutors who hadn't turned up, and I was covering, sorry, excuse me, covering for them. And then I decided to make a career out of it. So I then went on to do a what you would call a teaching qualification, which is PGCE at University of Greenwich. I did that in 2 years, and that's how I really became a full-time sports and fitness lecturer. So I've been doing this now for quite a while. I've been a lecturer since 2000, and I've been at the OU since 2010. So as you can see, I kind of didn't really want to be a lecturer, but I will say it's been a very good career choice. And when I say a very good career choice, is that I've been able to travel. I've been able to do a lot of research in my current role and even my previous role in colleges. I did research that took me to Holland, where I looked at how the education system in Holland was different to the one in the UK and how we could learn from each other. I've worked in that role across the board as a coach, lecturer, manager, and now what you will call a staff tutor as well. So I manage lecturers at the OU at the same time I also lecture as well. So it's quite an interesting career, I would say, I've had. And that has involved into me managing what you would call college teams. I've taken about 2 college teams to international competitions, both of them in Holland. One was Lewisham College, and then one was at Southgate College. And I've really enjoyed my role as a sports and fitness lecturer, and even more so now at the Open University. What are the day-to-day highlights? Well, you'd be prepared to take on a lot of questions from students. So, for example, when I was guest lecturing at the University of East London, you will walk, without sounding like Hollywood, you will literally walk across the wall, the hallway at the university, and the student will bump into you and go, "Oh, Ola, I've got a question for you," or "I've got a query for you," and then unless you're rushing to another class, you'll have to say, "Okay, I have to stop, listen to the question and answer, and then move on." So things like that. So you're and then you can go from that to then going into your office. Then you've got to do some marking. That's another thing. Not majority of your work, but what I was arguing the mainstay of your work is about marking students' work and giving them feedback, constructive, positive feedback, either way, either written feedback. I do a virtual audio visual kind of feedback now where I speak to the camera as I'm speaking now, overlooking the feedback and giving students feedback that way. And students have found that quite interesting. So I think that's the way you got, and also that means you've got to involve as a person. When I started teaching, there was no such thing as social media. It didn't exist. It is here now, and I've kind of involved with it. I have my own Twitter page, my own Instagram page. I don't do TikTok yet or Snapchat, but I've used that to help students. I've integrated, so students have been able to approach me not by email. Someone come to my Instagram and DM'd me, or come to my Twitter page and DM'd me. So therefore, you can integrate and also interact with students in that way, but again, in a professional manner. So that's the not want to say general, but one of the the key things. I think the most rewarding aspect of my role as a lecturer is supporting students. So I can say I've had students who I've supported all the way from year one to becoming a PhD student. I have supported students all the way from level one just to graduate, and they've gone on to do other things. I know a student who's now, I think, a level 2 referee. So he's literally one level away from refereeing in the national leagues. So it's those kind of experiences that you have. I have had students who have finished the sports sciences in other places who are now coaches in America. So it's a very rewarding career to have. Yes, it is tiring at some times, but it's also about you managing your time and making sure you do manage it, because if you don't manage your time effectively, it becomes even more tiring. So you do have to be somebody who can manage their time effectively. Top tips, I will say the most important thing you have to be is empathetic. You have to have empathy for the students you are teaching, you're supporting. Because if you don't have that, I think you can't be a good tutor at all. You have to be empathetic to their needs, know what is going on around them, and support them as much as you can within the system that you are working in. And I think that's the key thing to have. If you have empathy, you go a long way as a tutor. Essentially, that's really what I wanted to say. Like I said, it's been a really lovely career, and I hope to continue doing that. Okay, thank you.